Shalom, shalom, and here is my morning coffee Chappy Corner on today's gospel. It's a tough one today. The readings can be quite confusing and lead to many discussions on finger pointing and blame and shaming divorce. What I want to tell you is something different. You don't have to agree with me. That's totally fine. What I've learned is it's not about being right. It's about being love. And no matter what my opinion is, God's going to love me. The sun's going to come up. The birds will keep chirping. Doesn't much matter. Besides myself giving myself and others life and love and inclusion. Anyway, so in Jesus' time, when you read these texts, it's so important to know the context of what's happening at the time. And at that time, a man could divorce a wife just right out. Done. I'm done with you. Why? I didn't like how you scraped that plate. You know what I mean? And so, but then the woman would have absolutely nothing. She'd have nothing. She would be left to beg, to starve. She'd be somebody else's goods tossed away, and her life would be nothing. And so when you know that context, I kind of see like this, Jesus having this huge stance on hell no, you cannot. He didn't say that. Heck no. You may not divorce your wife just like that. No way, man. I see it as more of kind of can be like a woman's rights text or a human rights one where it's the no, you may not just throw that person aside. No, you must like it becomes more of a text about intimacy and respect and not throwing somebody else aside. And, from that perspective, when you're looking at that with these things that Jesus says about marriage, and it's the same with the ones of women respect your husbands and men respect your wives. It's that same thing where at that time, heck no, nobody respected the wives. Are you kidding me? The women were nothing, had nothing. And so this was a whole new world that Jesus was introducing. So no, you may not just throw another human being aside. No, you must actually treat them with respect. That just brings this entire gospel into a brand new light. And I think then it comes the very first reading today is the reading of Adam and Eve, and it just talks about the complete intimacy of all of creation. So God creates Adam. I say like there's the breath of, so Adam is just like before Jesus breathes life into him, and I say that's also my impression of a hot dog. So this is Adam. Anyway, so he breathes life into him, and Adam comes to life, and this breath of life, this breath of God, and God creates all of these animals, and Adam is with these animals, and then from his rib, he creates Eve. Now, this isn't like, oh, you've made from my rib, go make me a sandwich, woman. No, this is like, when Adam sees Eve, he says, at last, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. And you see, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, that's how deeply connected we all are. And so it's this matter of intimacy, and no, we should not be throwing any human being away. I think it has less to do with this idea of divorce and more to do with this idea of respecting humanity and dignity and love and great intimacy, because sometimes divorce is what is needed, and it's not something that should leave you feeling shame or exiled, but I hope it's something that helps to break you open and to be able to be compassionate and loving and to know that you are loved always. Grace and peace, friends.